Hello and welcome back. So today we are going to talk about begonias. This is why I am sitting here with my begonias. Specifically though, I'm going to talk about how I care for the begonias here in my home. As a reminder, I do grow in my living room, east-facing window. Humidity is not that high, 30 to 40%. Currently it is 27% in this area here. We are having a rather dry day here today in Colorado. I am going to split my begonias. I'm going to double the amount of begonias that I currently have. So right now I have 4. I have the Angel Wing, my special angel here. She's got 2 stalks, if you can see them back there. And then I have the Linda Dawn. She has, looks like several different stalks in there that I can probably separate. And then we have our pink mink. This is the one that's got the pretty pink spotting on her leaves. And then we have the NOID right here that has several different stalks that I can use. Excuse me. And then I have one Rex type begonia. The others that I just showed you, those are Angel Wing Begonias. This is a Rex type begonia. I am going to put this one in a smaller pot. I messed it up, so I'm going to try to help her recover a little bit. I think the pot is just too big. And then I've got 2 here that I propagated of the Linda Dawn and the pink mink. I was wanting to put them in the same pot, and I probably still will. The Linda Dawn has created some roots right there. And the pink mink, however, does not have any roots that I can see. But I'm just going to stick her in there anyway. I'm still going to pot them up together. And if the pink mink doesn't make it, I can always propagate another one and stick it in there later. I'm only going to repot the Rex begonia and the 2 propagations, and then we'll split one of the bigger begonias, and then I'll do the others off camera and show you kind of the end result. But I do have several mask pots. They're all white. I've got different nursery pots. Well, these are actually mask pots that my orchids came in, but I know I'm not ever going to use them as a masked pot just because of the color of them. I mean, they're not ugly, but they're not in my color scheme. I like the white. White gives me that nice, clean, sterile looking color. Plus the white just makes your plant pop a little bit better in my opinion. And then I've got these. So I've got a little bit of my Miracle Grow indoor potting mix left, and I got the Miracle Grow peat sphagnum moss that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to mix in this pot just because I could not find a bigger plastic container. They all have media of some sort or another in it. So back to the begonias. So they do require high indirect light. So you don't want to put them in the sun. Like I was saying, they enjoy bright indirect sun. You don't want to set them in direct sunlight. A little bit of morning sun is probably okay as long as it's not hot. And temperature, they pretty much will be happy in whatever temperature you're in. So usually between 60 and 80%. Not that you have your house at 80%. Some people, like it a little warmer than others. I'm a cold-natured person, but even 80 degrees, not percent, even 80 degrees is a lot for me. So I would not recommend 80 degrees in your home, but everybody is different. And let me just mix this up real quick. So what I did is I just poured some of the peat moss in here and then poured some of the indoor potting mix in there. I don't have, again, a formula. I just do like I do when I cook. When it looks good, I just go with that. And then as I mix, I pull out any bigger pieces, like there's just a little stick in there that I don't need. So we'll do the Rex begonia first. Actually, guys, I'm going to have to go get a pot. I do not have my pot for the seedlings or the Rex begonia. Okay, so we are back. So I did get 3 just in case I decide not to put the propagations in the same pot. So with that said, let me set them to the side. Let's go ahead and let's unpot our Rex begonia and see what's going on. Now, begonias like to stay moist. They don't like to be dry. I do let mine dry out almost to completely dry. So what that is, it's hard to describe. So the media is dry, but it's still got some moisture to it. And because you don't want to have them soggy, because then you'll mess up the roots, and in my case, the rhizome, which is what a Rex begonia grows off of. So, like, most of this is dry, but if you can kind of tell, there's still a little bit of moisture in there, so it is time to go ahead and water this one. And the way I water generally is I like to set the pot in a little plastic bowl, and I let the water absorb from the bottom up this way, and once the top is wet, I know the complete pot has absorbed enough water. A lot of people will water from the top and let it run through a few times, and that's their way. Everyone has their own way of doing it. Whatever works for you, keep doing that. It's just the way I like to do it. So let's put some dirt in here. So another thing, begonias do like higher humidity, and as I've stated before, I don't have high humidity in my house, but my workaround to that is I have a little plastic food bowl, just a little bowl I got at the Dollar Tree, and I put some pebbles at the bottom of it, and I keep water in it, and then I keep it on the shelf with the begonias to help create moisture and higher humidity in that area. So that's kind of my workaround from that. And then since I've been doing that, I've only been doing that for maybe a week, I've noticed that the leaf tip dieback, like you get on a lot of the begonias, will get these, let's see if I can find one, there it is. This one right here has like a dry leaf on it. It's because the humidity is too low around it, but since I've been doing that, I've noticed less of that in just doing that for a week. So I may have to get a different one that is not centered in one spot. Kind of get one, I want to get a long tray that I can set across so it's a little more even. But for now, it is working fine. So I'm not going to add my Osmocote pebbles to this just yet. I will add them probably in about a week after I water. There we go. So with these, you don't want to bury the rhizome because, like I said, if you leave it too wet, it will rot. And that's what happened with, there were 2 in here, and that's what happened with the other one, is I left it too wet and it rotted. So now she's kind of struggling to get by. I put her in a lower light area for right now just so she can kind of recover. But if you can see, she has the silvery green right here, especially on these 2 over here. That just means that she's getting not a lot of light. The more red the leaves are, the more light that this one gets. And that's just a trait for this one here. So we'll put her there, and I'll just water them all after I get done. Like I said, I'm going to soak them all and let them absorb the water. Move that. Okay, we're done with that one. And then let's get our 2 seedlings out here. And I call them seedlings, propagations, they're not seedlings. So I really think that would look really pretty if I kind of have them go together like that. But I think for now I'll just do them separate. Yeah, I'll just do them separate, and then this way, if one doesn't make it, I'm not disturbing the other one. So the Linda Dawn is going to be okay because she's got a good root system already starting in there. So I will just put her right in the center, right here. And I'm just going to tap down just a little bit. So these guys live on the top shelf of my my little grow shelf that I have for my orchids. I call it a little grow shelf. It's a 5-tier little one of those little metal ones that you can get at your local big box store, or you can order them off of Amazon. I got mine at my local big box. I just happened to be there, and that's what I got for that. So there's that one. And then we'll do the other one real quick, and then the fun part we'll see about splitting one. Just to go on record, and as a disclaimer, I have never split a begonia, much less repotted a begonia. So this will be an adventure to say the least. So what I'm going to do with this one is right here, there looks like a little, it looks like a little root is trying to come out. So I'm going to put her in the dirt up to about right here, because each one of these little noded areas have the potential to produce some roots. So I will put her a little bit deeper than I did the Linda Dawn, just because she does not have the roots that Linda Dawn has. So hopefully that will help her and encourage her to grow and produce some little babies and more stalks, and we get a full plant again. And then if I, in the future, have someone who's like, oh, I want one of those, I have some to give away. And this is really a great way, guys, to grow your collection. If you get a plant that you really like, learn how to propagate it, and then you can just make more and you can grow your collection. Ivies, your household ivy, the golden pothos, they're real easy to propagate. You can either stick them in water or you can stick them in dirt. If you stick them in dirt, make sure you keep it nice and moist, because they will dehydrate. Same thing with the begonias. When I take this out and we split it, I'll kind of show you where you want to cut it in order to get it to grow those roots. Generally, it takes about 4 weeks for the roots to grow, and you do want to keep it in a nice bright location just to be sure that they have that light, so to encourage the root growth. So we're just going to gently remove a lot of this. And the reason I'm putting them back in peat moss is because, one, they do like to stay moist, and the sphagnum peat moss retains a lot of water. Like the bottom of this one is still moist, whereas most of it is dry. This is about the time that I would water her. Like I said, I let it just dry out and then water. You don't, again, want them to be completely dried out, because they will reject you and be mad at you. And they'll do these little leaf dieback things. All right, so let's just keep rubbing. And she has a very fine root system. House plants have really small root systems compared to a lot of our Phalaenopsis. And Oncidium, well, Oncidiums can have small roots too. Okay, keep rubbing. And right here, we already have a new growth. So let's just see. What are we going to do here? And the reason I'm doing this one first is to practice, just because I don't know which one this is, and they have a lot more of these at my local Lowe's, which is where I got this one. So if I mess this one up, I can always just go get me another one. Okay, so looks like she's, let's see. So she's still in. She's got a piece of cloth in there. I'm not sure what that's for. So if anybody knows, let me show you real quick. There's like a little piece of cloth wrapped around her. I'm not sure if that's from when she was a seedling or if that's just something they did to hold her in the pot. I've never seen that before. That's really weird. So, all right. So I think I've got enough here where I can kind of see what's going on. Let's see. Looks like this right here would be a natural splitting from here to here. So we're just going to do this. There we go. Oh, and then that one just came up, but that's okay. We'll just put that one with this. All right. So that was a lot easier than I anticipated. So, so here's that. Yeah, so this is probably from when they were a seedling and they just potted it right on up with that. I'm just going to leave that in there. But if you look right here, this is where she was cut at one time. And if you cut a stalk in the right spot, so if I were to cut this stalk to encourage it to bush out more, I would cut it right above this line here so that it would encourage new growth down here. But we're not doing that today, so let me just look her over and clean her up where she needs to be cleaned. I am just going to pop that leaf off just because it's that's one of the old ones. And these blooms, I mean, I just think they're so cute. They're not anything to write home about. Like I've said before, let me see if I can just get it a little bit closer there. Let's see. You see them? They're nice. They're little cream colored blooms with just a little bit of hint of green in them. But I feel like if you can get a plant to flower, as long as it's putting on other new growth, then that's a success to me, especially house plants, because they don't usually flower very often. All right, so I'm just going to pop one of these into its new home, and then I'll repot the rest of them, and then once I'm done, I will come back and we will chat about them. Let me get a clean pot. So we'll put it in here. All right, so we will set her about right here and then just fill her in. And if you grow begonias in your home, whether the Rex or the Angel Wing, I think the Angel Wing are just the prettier ones. I'm just into the big foliage of them. That's probably why. But if you grow begonias in your home and you have some tips, go ahead and share them in the comments down below. And like I say, go ahead and also put your growing environment in there so that those of us who are reading it can follow and be like, okay, well, her or his growing conditions are very similar to mine. I'm going to try that. All right, so this is the first one. So like I said, I'll go ahead and finish the rest of them, and then we'll come back and have some final thoughts and see what we've got going. All right, well, here they all are, guys. We've got our Angel Wing Begonia. We've got our NOID, another Angel Wing. We've got our Linda Dawn next to another pink mink. Our other Linda Dawn, pink mink. NOID, our Rex Begonia down here, and one of our little propagations of the pink mink, and then the one NOID stem that just kind of was off by itself. I decided to put it in there with our Linda Dawn, just to see what happens. And if you notice, there are stakes in all of them, and it's because I do want to support those stalks while they reestablish themselves in their pots. I will put some pebbles at the top just to keep that media from drying out too much. And then I'll slowly water them. I did let them soak a little bit, give them a little bit of water. But because this isn't sphagnum peat moss, I don't want to overwater and make it soggy. So I'm just doing a gradual. And then I'll just check on them every couple of days or so. Again, make sure you give this video a like. And if you grow begonias, Angel Wing or Rex, leave your comments below, making sure to keep your environment as a comment as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one.